can you tell us anything that's different from maybe the original series, Lost in Space? That what your show will be, what will differ in your show?
I think the intention was to make a show that is true to the adventurous spirit of the original, while reimagining it in not just like a modern age, but 30 years from now. So to that end, this show is sort of massive in its scale and its scope, and it feels like a big adventure. And I think that in its own way, that's what people felt like when they were children watching the original Lost in Space. But and then we've clearly, the writers have created a family that looks to me very much like most families that I know these days, and the parents are separated when we meet them. It's a blended family, but kids from different relationships, and the women work and are strong, and none of that is ever really even questioned, One of the things that I noticed, I didn't watch the show when I was young, but I watched it while we were shooting with my son, who's 11. And even though he could see that the effects in the original were, to our eye now, look kind of hokey, he still got really scared watching it. When the monster would come out and you could tell it's a guy in a suit, but he knew that, but still there's this element of belief in it. And I think and I hope that our show can just engage people in that way.
How do you see the show fitting in with sort of the broader field of genre shows now that we have so many of them, especially space shows as well, with Star Trek coming back recently? How do you feel like the tone fits in? Like, what makes you guys stand out?
I think it differs in that it offers something unique. I think the original show offered something unique in that it's sci-fi, but at the heart of this, it's an adventure, but at the heart of this adventure is a family. And this, I think, offers one. It's a family that are in desperate jeopardy. They could die at any minute, and the kind of pressures that puts on them, but also an audience, that they get into this thing of like, I don't want these. And the way that it drip feeds them information about this family and about these people, it entices you into the family, and it entices you to like these people. You like them, and you value them, and you want them to survive. So that, I think it offers, but also I think it offers people. It's an aspirational show. It's like people who want to do better and become better people, and want humanity to survive in this new context. And so it's aspirational in that sense, which a lot of shows at the moment aren't. They're kind of like depressing. They're like, Jesus, man, I know, life's shit, right? But we don't need it rammed down our throats like all the time.
Particularly right now.
Like in the real world and on TV,
Yeah.
So I think this, hopefully, will give them a reprieve from that and kind of go, actually, we can lose ourselves in just a simple adventure with people we like hanging out with.
Yeah, and it's fun,
Yeah.
Like it's exciting. The show is exciting, and we're both parents, and to also, I know how little there is out there to watch with your kids that you're both going to really enjoy. Like, it's not a kids show, but it's also, it works on a number of levels. So that, for me, that's one of the things I'm most excited about, is that, my son can watch it. I didn't. I let him see like these tiny little, he's seen sort of clips of, everything I've ever done. Every once in a while I forget and I cover his eyes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Like, no, don't look,
earmuffs.
Yeah.
What's a Twilight?
Oh yeah, none of it. There's not one thing I've done that really.
Yeah, I think either of us.
No.
So it's quite nice.
It's really nice.
So with this show, what is it in respect to, like, let me rephrase this. So it sounds like, especially watching the trailer, it seems like it's very serious. But if you remember you said you just started watching the original, it did have a lot of funny elements to it. And a lot of silly ones, a lot of hokey ones. So it was really, it got you chuckling, depending on your age as well. But would you say that there are some pretty good comedic points in this as well to kind of give that?
Have you met Parker Posey?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So like
in passing. Or
yeah.
But what's great is that you've got look. There's the comedy, the innate comedy of this family, that having domestic situations in this
absurd
situation.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also you've got what's great is when Don West comes in, Ignacio, and Parker's character, it's Dr. Smith. You get this whole other kind of dynamic entering into the family. That and it's great actually.
We're not funny.
Totally not funny
at all.
But I mean,
the scenes, yeah.
you do need those characters to come in. You realize actually the original works so well because you do need that.
Yeah.
You need these other people coming in
because Dr.
and
Smith
just jamming and creating whole other different situations for these people. And so there, like I say, it is true to the original in its vibe, but it doesn't have the, I would say, in inverted commas, camp kind of quality that the original had, just because you can't really recreate that. Why would we? Because it's so much of that period.
Sure.
Like you had it in Batman, and you had it in all of those, those series that were going on. They had this kind of zany
Yeah, it was that
thing
camp.
where you could, but you can't really recreate that the same way in the, but there is comedy there, which is great.
So what were you guys most excited to explore that previous incarnations of this didn't do?
When I did, one of the things that I noticed watching the original is that Maureen Robinson makes a lot of sandwiches. So her job for the most part is sort of, oh no, there's an alien, coming at them, but can I get anyone some sandwiches? And she's, she has this incredible machine that folds the laundry for her.
Yeah.
That's like future machine. Every woman would want a machine that does your laundry for you, And I'm joking because I also think she was also a very strong woman in her own right, but in the parameters of that time. And so to be allowed to play a woman, be the matriarch of the show, who's a scientist, who is fierce, who is, I didn't really realize that they had intended to turn me into an action hero until like halfway through the show. I wish when I was like, I should have gone to the gym once or something before taking this job. I thought we would just be in a studio. Anyway, it's sort of pathetic, but all of that was really fun, And for me, just personally, I got to stretch and do things that I've, in 27 years, never had the opportunity to do.
I think also creating a textured kind of family that is believable.
We talked a lot about that.
And the relationships, having a kind of warts and all kind of relationship, and that it, without being depressing, it's something that's kind of feels real, so an audience will invest in it.
Sure.
Because I think the original was more like this apple pie kind of,
Which was what was
so
on
cute,
TV at that
but
time.
At the moment, just people wouldn't be able to watch that. And you're going, life isn't like that. So.
Thank you so much, guys.
We're going to head that way.
Okay.
Thank you.